All right. So again, this is from the syllabus. Scroll down below where you see assessment here, and you see on our outline it's worth 150 points. Again, that's the biggest chunk of points you're going to have on any assignment here, on any one assignment. All right, so the goal of this assignment is to give you the opportunity to explore in detail a career of your choice. The paper must be 5 to 7 pages in length and double spaced with 12-point fonts. In order to prepare to write this report, you must first complete several informal assessments. We've kind of already done those. The Focus 2, you did some, the VARC assessment, your learning style, and some other things. Those are basically the assessments that you're doing. We will do some in class, and you may want to do more on the Focus 2. If you cannot decide on a career to research, please make an appointment to talk with me and I'll help you. Please follow the outline provided below in order to achieve full credit. This is not a real difficult research paper. You're basically answering all these questions, not with like one sentence, but in paragraph form, using some concrete, using the 7 C's of writing that we just talked about. So be clear, be complete, have a nice flow to it, be coherent. If you're answering these questions and you're using good paragraph form and using those 7 C's of effective writing, you're going to easily come up with 5 to 7 pages. Okay. I will allow you to have the works cited page count as one of your papers or one of your pages. So if you have 4 solid pages plus the works cited, that can work. Now, what I've seen in the past is students, they use a larger font than 12-point. They hit enter like 3 times between paragraphs, and there's like huge gaps in their paper, and I can just tell that they're not writing a full the full 4 to 5 to 6 pages. Okay. So don't cut corners like that. You just need to add more information, some more background to each of these questions. So there are 22 questions. I'm going to go through them. In the introduction, this is kind of your personal inventory of your career choice. So what type of career do you want? You're going to tell me the career choice that you want to go into. Be as specific as you can. So if you just tell me I want to work in healthcare, well, there's a million different things that can mean. So be very specific, the exact kind of job you want to be pursuing. It's going to be easier to research. It's going to be easier to write about it if you're more concrete about it. All right. And then a subpart to this is include a brief history of how you came to choose your career path. So give me a story, right? Write a whole paragraph on that one question where you're telling me how you came to think about this. Give me the background. How long ago did you first start thinking about this? What made you think about it? Why do you want to do this? So that's a paragraph right there, that first question. The second question, did someone inspire you to follow this career path? That's probably part of that paragraph is, did anyone inspire you? Let me be real honest about what I'm looking for. When I grade this paper, I'm looking for answers to each of those questions. Okay, so number 2, if you think that nobody inspired you, I'd kind of beg to differ there. Maybe there's got to be someone or maybe it was a show that you watched. Tell me something about how you were inspired to pursue that career path. How did it happen? How did they inspire you? What did they do that made you really get turned on to this career? Okay. Number 3, are there specific personality types or skills required for this career? That's something that you may not know right now. So you need to do some research. You need to find some information about the types of people. And remember, we did those Holland codes. You did a little assessment on your Holland codes. What are the different personality types? Is this realistic? Is this investigative? Is this all those different codes? You're going to maybe look at that and see what's the personality type for this type of career. And then is it a good fit for you? Okay. You did the personality assessments on the Focus 2. And so I want you to use your information from the Focus 2 in question number 4 to tell me, do you think you're an actual fit for this career? And why do you think that? Okay. So again, there might be a paragraph for each of these questions in this first section. Okay. Maybe at least 2 to 3 for the whole introduction. Part 2, what are the requirements for getting into this career? All right, so question 5, describe the expected future job growth or decline in this career area. We took a look at the Career One Stop site. That's a great resource for this question. Is this job growing? Are there more openings for this career over the next 10 years? Or is it supposed to decline in job openings? Number 6, what type of education do you need? Maybe you don't know that yet. Maybe you didn't realize that, to become a therapist, you actually have to have a bachelor's degree in some area, and then you need to get a master's degree in psychology to be able to work as a therapist, or a counselor. You need a master's in counseling. So figure out what's the educational path, how much education, what kind of degree that you need. Number 7, I want you to think through this. You might not have all the answers right now, but think about it and write some ideas down. What college or school would you like to attend? These are questions you have to think about, because you're going to be making these decisions in the next couple years. If you're going to get into this career, you need to get this degree, and what school has those degrees, and which school do you want to go to? So you're going to do some research on that and answer that for number 7. Number 8, how much will your education cost? That's going to take some research. You're going to think through how many years you're going to be in school. How much does it cost per year? Think about room and board if you're going to live on campus. Think through all of that stuff. Again, this is the purpose of this paper, is for you to really find out everything you possibly can about your career and how you're going to get there. This is a helpful, practical thing for you to do. So think about the cost. Number 9, how long will it take you to complete? So feasibly, how long is it going to take you to get your bachelor's degree if you need that? Are you doing a trade school? Are you going to medical school? Are you going to do a postdoc, a fellowship to become a surgeon? How long does that take? You have to think through all of that. And there's so much information out there on the internet that it shouldn't be too hard for you to find the information that you need. Number 10, do you need a specific license, or do you have to take a national exam? Again, I'm looking for answers to every single question when I grade this paper. So if you don't need to be licensed, or you don't need to take a national exam to practice in your career, well, tell me that in your paper. It might be just one sentence, but I need you to explain that in your paper, okay? Part 3, you're going to give me details about the actual job. So number 11, after college, what specific job within your career area will you have? Okay, so if your goal is to go to medical school and be a doctor, what kind of doctor do you want to be? If you want to be an engineer, what kind of engineer do you want to be? What specific kind of job? Maybe you say, I want to be a mechanical engineer. Okay, that's fairly specific, but there's a lot of different jobs mechanical engineers can do. Do you want to work on electric battery cells? Do you want to work, for Ford, developing, more fuel efficient engines? Like, try to be as specific as you can in an area of interest that you have, to tell me specifically what kind of job and what kind of task you want to be doing. Number 12, what are the day-to-day duties and tasks and activities for this job? That can be found from Career One Stop. That can be found online. You want to know what this job's all about. Some of you really know very little about the careers that you're interested in. So take the time to find out what this person actually does who work in these careers. Number 13, what type of company will you work for? So these are some things that you're coming up with for this paper. You're thinking about, what would your ideal job be? Would you work for a big company? Would you work for a small business? Would you start your own business? What kind of company would you work for if you had your choice? Okay. Number 14, will you have to relocate? are most of these jobs in a certain area of the United States or overseas? Or, you know, maybe in a different community, maybe not in Dearborn, but maybe in a different part of Michigan that you need to work for this particular company. I mean, if you're going to be a marine biologist, you're probably going to have to be near the ocean. So think about relocation and what kind of, and maybe it's not, will you have to, but do you want to? Are there places you've thought about living and working for your career? Number 15, will you be paid hourly or on an annual salary? And what will your annual income be? So do some research about starting salary, what you could expect to be making right out of college. That's an important piece of information that you need to know for the careers that you're going into. Is this going to be a job that you're making the kind of money that you hope to make? Number 16, do you have room for advancement and promotions in this career? So that's asking basically when you start out at a certain level right out of college, can you develop in this career? Can you move up, you know, the corporate ladder and move into maybe more management positions or positions with higher responsibility and maybe people working under you? What kind of opportunities do you have to advance in your career within that area of work that you're in? All right, so that's part 3, describing the job. Part 4, you're probably going to write a couple paragraphs about this. Number 17, what are some current issues or new develops in this field? Okay, so that when I say issues there, it might not be problems. It could just be some new thing that's happening that's kind of changing this field. You know, if you're going into computer science and you want to do programming or software, things like that, you know, one of the new issues is AI. How is AI changing this field? You know, a lot of people are talking about how software engineers, their jobs are going to be quite a bit different because AI can write code faster and better than people in a lot of ways. So what are some things that are changing in your field in the next 5 to 10 years? So you're gonna have to do some research on that. Number 18 is more to do with challenges and concerns and difficult things in this line of work. So talk about some of the concerns, some of the challenges that people deal with in this career. Again, these are things that you're going to want to know about the career that you're getting into. What are some of the problems that people have? All right, number 5, part 5. How are you going to get there? All right, so outline the steps that you will take, including specifics on transfer institutions and possible employers, what colleges offer the required major. So number 19, who are the big employees and the employers in this field rather? What are some companies that you could work for? Where do you expect to find jobs in this career area? Number 20, what are the major obstacles that you will face to achieve your career goals, and how will you overcome them? So think through what difficult things you're going to have to overcome, and what resources you're going to use, what things you have at your disposal. Actually, I'm sorry, that's number 21. So yeah, what are some resources you can use to assist you to get there? So how are you going to overcome those challenges? How are you going to persevere through 10 years of school to become a doctor? What are you going to do to keep going in that? And then number 22, last question. What are some professional associations related to your career field that you could join while you're still a student? If you can't join while you're a student, just you can write about other professional organizations that you can join once you're in the career. Again, I'm looking for answers to all the questions. If you can't find a professional association that's connected to your line of work, let me know that, so that I see that you actually attempted to answer that question. Most areas, most work areas and career areas are going to have some sort of organizations, professional associations that you can join on for networking and collaboration and things like that. All right, the last part, and we just talked about plagiarism. This is really important. You have to have a works cited page. Okay, you need at least 5 sources. Okay, you're going to get points for each one. So if you have 4, then you're going to lose the points. If you don't have any, you're going to lose a lot of points. You need to have at least 5 sources. I understand most of your sources are probably going to be online. I would like at least one of them to be a professional journal in your field. Every career field has professional journals where people do research, and they're peer-reviewed articles and research papers that are in journals. So if you just do some Google research on professional journals for business career, professional journals for medical career, professional journals for psychologists, I mean, you name it, for teachers, you're going to find some professional journals for your field, and you need to find at least one article from a professional journal for your paper. Okay. If you do an interview, you want to interview someone in your field, you could do that. So it's possible to do an interview, and there is a way to link that as a citation. Do not use Wikipedia. Okay, that is not a good source. That's, Wikipedia, anyone and their brother can throw anything they want on Wikipedia, and it really is not a reputable place to go. Okay. You're going to use MLA format. So every source you can use MLA format. This is MLA format right here. You're going to do the author, book, place of publication, publisher, and date. Let me go back to my slides. We don't have time today, but at some point I'll show you this. If you go to, so this is MLA format, author, title of the source, title of the container. The container is like, if it's a journal, it might be the date of the journal, which edition it was is the container. Other contributors below the author, the version, the number, publisher, publication date, and location. Now, for this paper, I'm going to allow you to use a citation generator. I don't care if you do that. I want you to do it right. So Scribr is a really helpful citation generator. You can literally go to an article and enter a web page there, or enter a book or article, anything on there, and it will give you the citation in MLA format. So I could look up, okay, current issues in software engineering field. We'll do it real quick, and I'll find, don't want to use Reddit. You don't want to use Wikipedia. Let's use this one here. This is it's a blog. It's not probably the best source, but for the sake of time, I'm going to use it. Okay. So we're going to copy this website here, put it in Scribr, hit cite. Okay. Here's my citation right here. There it is. So there's my citation in MLA format. I could copy it to my clipboard and then copy and paste it to my paper. So I encourage you, for this paper, feel free to use Scribr. Okay. Let me put it in the chat. Go back to my link. I think I linked the one that goes directly to MLA. Yep, I did. So this one will take you directly to MLA. That's what you need to use for this paper. Feel free to use it. And I'm going to put it in chat in just a second here. Okay, so go ahead and follow that link. You can bookmark it, and all of you have no excuses not to get 100% on your works cited page. You just got to have 5 sources. Make sure you indent the second line and following on your MLA format, just like it looks like on that example that I did.
Where will you post a recording for this meeting?
I'm going to put it on Moodle under this week. Okay. So the works cited should look like this. You see how the first line is all the way to the left and the second line is indented. That format needs to be there. You'll lose a few points if it's not, okay? All right, let's go back to the slideshow.